In this video, we're going to break down the difference between your TFSA, FHSA, and RSP, and we'll go through a super important consideration on if you're considering buying a home in, let's say, the near future, maybe 1 year from now. I'm Michael Ouzas. I'm a realtor here in Toronto. If you ever want to book in a call with me to discuss some of these options a little more in detail, you click on that first link in the description down below. As a first-time buyer, it's important to know your options when it comes to some of the investment tools that you can use to help save for a down payment. Most notably, the tax-free savings account, the first home savings account, and the registered retirement savings plan here in Canada are all tools that you can use to help you save for a down payment. We're going to break down each one individually and also discuss what exactly is an important consideration when it comes to buying your first home. Before we jump into the home buyers plan, let's first break down what the differences are between the TFSA, FHSA, and RRSP. I found the RBC website broke this down kind of the best because there's different columns for each and side by side to show what each one is, but you can go to plenty of websites that have different breakdowns for each. Right here under TFSA, what is it? It is a registered plan where your investment earnings and withdrawals are tax-free. If you put money into your TFSA, and there is a limit onto how much you can put each year, and it does accumulate year over year, then anything you invest in that TFSA, so for example, if you invest in a stock and it generates, for argument's sake, a 5% return, none of that return would be taxable in the tax-free savings account. Under the RSP, a registered plan where your contributions are tax deductible. If you do contribute to your RSP, there is again a limit that you can do each year. Then there is some tax benefits there on your income tax. And that's something, and all of these things are actually things to discuss with your accountant moving forward. But this is just a breakdown based on experience and what I'm seeing here on the website. And your investment earnings are tax deferred. You are charged taxes when you withdraw funds. So with the RSP, it's a tax deferral. So if you put money into your RSP now, you will get some kind of a tax break through your accountant. They'll be able to break that down for you. But in the future, when you do withdraw those funds in retirement, there will be some tax payable based on income and things like that. Again, this is all accountant discussions. This is also where the home buyers plan comes into play because you can now, at this moment in time, withdraw $35,000 from your RSP and use it towards the purchase of your first home. Taking a look at the FHSA, a new registered plan designed to help first-time buyers. Your contributions are tax deductible, just like they would be in an RSP, and investment earnings and withdrawals are tax-free if used to purchase your first home. Then you get the benefits of the TFSA. It's basically a combination of TFSA and RSP. TFSA is shorter-term goals, new bike, vacation, home reno. You could also use it for longer-term retirement or homeownership. RSPs are built for retirement and FHSA is built for your first home. If we jump over to the home buyers plan, here's the important consideration. So the HBP, the home buyers plan, allows you to withdraw from your registered retirement savings plan, your RSP, to buy or build a qualifying home for yourself or for a specified disabled person. Currently, the HBP withdrawal limit is $35,000. Now, the new budget did mention going up to $60,000, which is a significant jump. So for example, if you and a partner are purchasing a property together, you can both use your own RSPs to contribute to the down payment. There are some considerations when it comes to qualifying for the HBP. The first one is that it allows you to pay back the amounts withdrawn within a 15-year period tax-free. If you do withdraw the funds when you purchase that first home, you still have to pay it back within 15 years. You can make a withdrawal from more than one RSP as long as you are the annuitant of each RSP accounts. Your RSP issuer will not withhold tax on withdrawn amounts of $35,000 or less. Locked-in or group RSPs do not allow you to make a withdrawal from them. To be eligible to participate in the HBP, here's a few things that you need to consider. First one is that you are a first-time buyer, but if your participation is in respect of a specified disabled person, this condition does not have to be met. Here's maybe the biggest factor is that you must have a written agreement to buy or build a qualifying home, either for yourself or for a specified disabled person. This is why this is a super important factor when it comes to a RRSP and also for the FHSA. If you've watched any of my previous videos, we've talked about the difference between deposit and down payment. Typically, when an offer is accepted, the deposit is due within 24 hours of acceptance. If you're planning to use your RSP as a deposit or the contribution as a deposit, you won't be able to withdraw those funds from your RSP until you have a firm written agreement. Typically, the process here in Ontario is that you submit an offer on a property, your deposit is due with the offer or within 24 hours. And in Toronto, that deposit is generally 5%. So if you purchase for $1 million, for example, the deposit owing would be $50,000. If you're purchasing for $500,000, that 5% deposit would be equivalent to the minimum down down payment that you need to purchase the property. If you're putting down 5% of the property, which is the minimum, at $499,999 or less, then if you need that money from your RSP to make that deposit payment, it might be a challenge to get that money within the time frame when the deposit is due. So that's when that consideration is super important, is that if you need that 5% deposit readily available, the RSP or FHSA might not be the best account for you. Going towards a TFSA first to save up that 5% deposit would be the best play in order to have that deposit readily available when searching for property. If you are looking to use the RSP or FHSA for future down payment as the property gets closer to closing, then once the deposit's in and all the conditions have been settled, you can go to the bank and fill out the form, which we'll take a look at in a second, and withdraw those funds so that they're ready for when you need to submit the rest of the down payment before closing. You have to be a resident of Canada throughout the period that starts when your first eligible withdrawal from your RSP under the HBP and ends when you buy or build a qualifying home. You must intend to occupy the qualifying home as your principal place of residence within 1 year after buying or building it. If you buy or build a qualifying home for a specified disabled person to buy or build a qualifying home, that person must intend to occupy the qualifying home as their principal place of residence within 1 year after buying or building it. But there are some other eligibility conditions, and I'd recommend going through these in detail if this is something you're considering when buying your first property. Here's where things get a little bit complicated if you're using your RSP or FHSA, and this says how to make withdrawals from your RSP under the home buyers plan. In order to make the withdrawal under the HBP, you must fill out this form to request to withdraw funds from an RSP. You have to fill out a separate form for each withdrawal you make, and you cannot withdraw more than $35,000 right now in total under the HBP. Now I've opened up the form here, and again, this is all available on the CRACanada.ca website. You'll go through each one here, but taking a look down here, you must fill out the address of the property that you've purchased, and that's where this comes into play and is super important consideration when moving forward with either your FHSA or RSP. And going back to this page where it says you must have a written agreement offer accepted and all the conditions fulfilled before you can withdraw that RSP or FHSA. And the last consideration before kind of breaking down my opinion on this is that you have 15 years to repay your RSP, and your repayment period starts the second year after the year when you first made your withdrawal from your RSPs under the HBP. If you purchase a property this year and your first withdrawal was in 2024, first year of repayment would be in 2026. And you can repay those full amounts at any time. But here's where things get a little bit interesting with the FHSA and RSP. When purchasing a property in Ontario, having a deposit ready within 24 hours after an offer is accepted or with the offer is super important. And typically in the Greater Toronto Area, that deposit amount is 5% of the purchase price. You won't be able to use those funds as your deposit. It might take a week or two to get that money out of your RSP, and they need a firm agreement of purchase and sale in order to withdraw those funds tax-free. This is where the tax-free savings account could come into play, at least to get your deposit saved up. When you're going to look at properties, if you do want to make an offer on something, you'll need that deposit readily available and in hand in order to firm up a deal. First goes the deposit, then fulfilling any conditions if there are any in the offer. And then once everything is settled, that's when you can go take out or withdraw from your RSP or FHSA. Knowing that, it might be better off going with the TFSA first just to build up that deposit amount. And then once you have a deposit ready, going towards the FHSA and your RSP. Of course, there are some tax considerations to discuss with your accountant, but having the FHSA where you can pull it out tax-free and don't have to repay it could be a very important consideration, at least when buying your first home, and then working towards your RSP depending on your personal situation. So that's an absolutely important consideration if you are considering which one to go for first. Start with the TFSA to build up your deposit amount, and then work your way with the FHSA and RSP based on your accountant's recommendation. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below on what you think of the TFSA, FHSA, and RSP. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.